Everyone has a dream.
Open up a youth center.
Fashion company.
A film actor. But only some choose to chase them.
Do I really believe that I've got what it takes?
This is Dream Quest.
I think I'm gonna encounter something big here.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Oh, I like this ride.
When Lee showed up, we had no idea what we were doing.
Morning, big dog. When we rode, I noticed that we had a different boat than we had previously, and I asked him why that was. It only had 2 motors instead of 3. And he said that was because it was going to be a little bit more treacherous where we were going, and that he couldn't take the other boat there. So I'm racking my mind thinking, what could possibly, what could be going on this time?
We knew we were getting close when Lee slowed down. We looked off in the distance and we saw those 2 blue flags and this sliver of an island.
Sean and Courtney!
We kind of pulled up, and it was just one of those beautiful pictures that you would see on a postcard of this beautiful sandy beach and then a couple piles of junk.
The first thing I saw was 2 piles of stuff, and Sean and Courtney already figured, hey, we're gonna have to build something.
This is intense.
Did we bring Legos
experience?
Leave your bags on the boat.
Come on.
Hop off, drop your bags and get off fast, guys. Come on, gotta hurry.
This island's gonna disappear.
We were so excited about this next event. It was the brainchild of George Shattuck, who actually created several of our events. He has been around boats and water for like 30 years. I'm pretty sure the man can build anything and survive almost everything. But now the question was, how is our cast gonna survive? Well, this surreal paradise is the place for your next event. Time is absolutely of the essence. You have until this island disappears from this tide to take these 2 piles of junk and turn them into rafts that you can float on.
I was never a Boy Scout, so I was a little worried going into this because I wasn't sure how we were gonna build a raft.
So I feel pretty confident because, I've lived on a sailboat before. I know how to sail, I know how to ride a boat, drive a boat, jump off a boat. Anything that deals with the boat, I know how to do it.
Immediately thought, I really hope I'm on Matt's team because he's the only one I know that has experience around a lot of boats and therefore sailors' knots and things like that. And I, at one point, knew some knots and lashing, but I knew that it would just be kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
I should have took carpenter class in high school, but I didn't. I was definitely freaked out about that one.
Kylie Jean, hold it tight because it's very windy.
Oh, great.
I want you to read that cue card for us.
Okay, where success is concerned, people are not measured in inches or pounds or college degrees or family background. They are measured by the size of their thinking.
What does that mean? Problems are inevitable. And in chasing your dreams, you're definitely gonna face some problems. The ability to look beyond obstacles, find a solution and create a new way around it is a key to a successful life. Today's event is a team event. This is the second event in round 2. First team is Matt, Timmy, Sydney, and Taylor. Second team is Chris, Holden, Jaleesa, and KJ. Okay, listen up. The winning team gets 200 points. Second place team gets 100 points.
You're gonna go out beyond that buoy and race back here to these 2 flags for the finish. Whoever reaches the finish first wins. In the situation that nobody can reach the finish, whoever makes it the farthest wins. We're gonna let you guys pick which pile of junk that you get based on a number. So we have a number that all 3 of us know, and y'all are gonna pick a number between 1 and 10. You guys, what number do you want? Pick fast.
5, right?
5.
6.
What pile do you guys want?
We want that one.
The other team got to pick first, and they chose 1 pile of materials, and so we automatically received the second pile. Well, we were lucky enough for the second pile was a little bit higher up.
This island's gonna disappear. So when we say start, you gotta start working on it. Like she said, George will give you the thumbs up.
and he can give you some insight. Time is absolutely of the essence. Are you ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, go.
Come on, you guys, let's go. We know what's doing, right?
Oh yeah, by far my favorite challenge was today's challenge. I thought it was really creative that we had to build the raft, and the fact that I felt like it was easy drama.
Some of the other challenges was pretty definitive in what I wanted to get done. That's when I said, guys, let's all communicate. I'll tell you what I think that we should do, but I could be totally wrong here.
All right, guys, one thing you guys should know, all these parts you can use, you don't have to use all the parts. But you do have to be able to put all 4 people on it, make it around the buoy and come back. Folks, if anyone needs to know how to tie a knot, I can teach you how to tie a knot. I can't tie knots for you.
Okay.
So I'm watching this, and only Holden goes to George to ask how to do the knot. And I think the truth is, when you're trying to solve a problem, sometimes you have to ask for help.
To make a loop at the end is you just want to make a figure 8. So you just take it down, finish your figure 8, bring it back through,
Yep,
and that'll give you an easy loop at the end.
I got that.
This is how we're going to assemble this. This is how our boat is going to be assembled, right here, like this.
You want this on the outside?
Yep.
Okay. Whenever our teams were assigned, I knew Matt was going to take charge. I just knew it. He's lived on a sailboat for 3 years. He knows how to tie knots and stuff.
I felt really good when we got our team and when we first started putting it together, because it was actually perfect, because we had me and Taylor that were able to weave our arms in between and take the ropes and pull them up, and then we had Timmy over there who's pulling everything as tight as possible and using his strength, and then Matt would go around and secure all the knots because he knew how to do them all. So we're like, this is perfect, we got this down.
I was excited, and at the same time I was kind of freaking out because the water was going up and we did have a short period of time. And I've built rafts before, and it doesn't take 2 seconds to build one, it takes a while.
Started out, we were on, felt sand beneath our feet, and everything was fine. The water was slowly, kind of creeping in, and then I looked down halfway through building our raft, and the water was up to my ankles, and that just blew my mind.
Our island is disappearing from underneath us.
Early in the competition, we had a big decision to make as a team. This one has the hole. So forget this one. This one.
Problem was, one of the barrels had a hole in it.
And that's exactly how George set it up. It wasn't a hole at all. He left one cap off of a barrel for each team, forcing them to think through a major potential problem. And Matt's team came up with a very curious solution.
That's just gonna catch water and sink us.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Positive. If we have 3, we can't just float with 3. Is this supposed to have a hole in it?
I saw the hole in it, and it was my idea first, and I was like, we don't need the 4th one.
That's the trick. If we use that one, we're gonna mess up.
When our instructor told us you don't need everything, I thought that was a given. I thought he was basically saying don't use the 4th tube because it has a hole in it.
So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna test this out. I put it in the water and it started to sink. So I just got rid of it.
We decided not to use the 4th barrel because it had a hole in it. I think we were just trying to figure out first the foundation of the raft, and we all had a couple different ideas, but we were all so confused on, none of us have expertise in raft building, so I have no idea what to do.
I should have listened in rope knot tying class.
So what are we thinking?
I used to know these.
We need to secure it to this. Yeah.
And then I pick this up again.
Not yet.
The toughest part about that challenge was definitely how the team operated.
I'm going to, it's not.
Just really wanted to be assigned something to do.
All right, how should we loop this one?
Because I looked at it and I was like, how am I going to even be used in this situation?
Secure that board. So we're gonna bring it back over here. We're gonna do the same thing.
And so I was asking,
Tell me what you need me to do.
Matt, tell me what you need me to do. Timmy, do you need me to help you with anything? Sydney.
Hey Matt.
Yes.
Taking this, see this bar underneath here? If we wrap it underneath this, do you think that's a good idea?
Sydney and Matt were just in their own little world, and that's how they operate.
You all right, Matt? Let me know if you need me.
And I did really bad that challenge because I lacked in the communication with Taylor and the rest of the team. So putting that boat together was pretty tough.
Well, they're definitely using a lot of line here.
Yeah.
It was really cool because we incorporated each of our ideas, and I thought of boards on the side to try to like hold it together, and then Holden's like got this figure 8 rope going on, and Chris and Jaleesa were just like going hard, pulling those ropes, putting everything together, and putting in input. And
Now we're gonna put that on here and then feed that.
As soon as you're done, I'll take 5 minutes to inspect it to make sure that it's not dangerous, and then you can go.
We had a raft built, and we didn't put the kind of wooden grate, I guess you call it, on top, and we thought it was going to work.
We got off first. I felt good about that. We got about 2 feet in the water, and our boat about just completely came apart.
the barrels just like start popping apart, and we're like, this is not gonna work.
And I was just thinking to Holden, I said, hey man, we gotta include this crate somehow.
And I'll tell you that that was the first time in any of these events that I thought, I can't win this. We can't win this. We're done.
We saw that they were struggling, so it left an opening for us to be successful.
As I was watching them come up, and their boat looked super sturdy as they were getting into the water, and ours had basically just fallen apart. And I had done the best that I could, and I figured that wasn't good enough.
So we finally got our boat onto the water and it was floating. I got on the boat, Sydney got on the boat, Taylor got on the boat, we were set. The only thing we forgot about was we needed Timmy on the boat too. And he's not the smallest guy.
That was difficult because we all weighed different amounts and we couldn't really pair up like 2 on one side and 2 on the other and have it be even.
The toughest part for the raft competition for me was mentally and knowing that I was the heaviest person on our team. So when we started getting on, I felt like the raft kept tilting on my side.
So once he got on, we had problems, balancing the boat.
It didn't work, and so we had to go back and regroup, and it was just a long, frustrating process to really try and figure out how to get this boat to get us to our destination.
That's why we're
We didn't put like this crate on top. I'm like, this will be a good foundation. Like, guys can sit in the front, us girls, we balance the weight.
We tied it up, and it was surprisingly effective.
I think they might make it. They're getting a lot of stability out of it. And they're tying the knots tight enough. Using that 8 knot, they're able to use some mechanical advantage, and I think that one may float.
And we got back out there, and it was surprisingly well balanced.
They got their act together and they were going, and they just didn't stop. They went straight to the cone and they're beating us.
We got around the buoy, and I'm thinking, this is kind of slow goings with the wind in our backs. We spent about 3 minutes with me and Chris just paddling as hard as we could, and we couldn't have moved more than 2 inches. I told Chris, I said, bring back memories of the paddleboard.
When we got out to the buoy, everything just fell apart.
Our brilliant, incredibly effective design surprisingly came apart, and I just see us tipping over.
So when our team's raft capsized, I thought we still have a chance. And I foolishly swam against the current, well, the barrel was going quicker than I was. I was trying to catch that thing. That barrel was about this far away from me and was slowly inching away. It was like all my hopes and dreams were just being taken into the ocean.
So with one team in the water and their vessel falling apart, the other team has a chance to take the lead. But as Holden and his team try to get back to the island to repair their boat, Matt and his team have challenges of their own. They're trying not to drift off into the Gulf of Mexico.
So for a brief moment, we honestly thought we had a chance. And then we just kept drifting.
Oh no, calm down, we'll get there,
And drifting, and drifting, and drifting.
Then when we got out deep, the current was taking us, and then the raft fell apart.
Yeah, there's no saving that boat. We were donezo.
From there, we were already so far out, and we were being drifted not only past the buoy, but way to the right.
I feel disappointed. You know, it's not a good thing we had to get rescued. You know, drifting out to sea, there's no coming back from that.
I let the team down today.
Did we lose?
I wasn't too happy at that point.
We were definitely the first ones back to the island, but we weren't sure if we had won or not, because we were on the island, but our boat was definitely not.
You guys were doing really well if the wind wasn't so strong. George was saying you guys might have actually been able to turn it and get it back in here.
Yeah. You had the right plan. It worked together. Battling this wind and these seas, that's a lot to ask.
So what you're saying is if you were on an island, you would have made that raft that we made?
No, I wouldn't have.
We went the furthest. We totally won.
Are you serious?
Sure, baby.
You see that? Yeah, that's a bit of
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You guys, y'all did awesome. We're gonna let George, our inspector, give us the official ruling of who won.
Let me first say congratulations. You both essentially made life rafts out of a pile of junk.
Woo!
Great, good job. But by the letter of the rule, we only counted forward progress when you had all 4 bodies on top of the raft. So if we have to go with using those rules, here's the winning team.
Nice work. Nice work. Nice job.
Yes. Pretty long time. So that means you guys have 200 points, you guys have 100 points. There is one event left in round 2, which will determine the second person to go to the finals.
And we are actually moving on. We packed up from the old house and we're headed out to a whole new place, new house. So let's get off this sinking island and go on to our next location.
It was definitely a fun experience, and I was really pumped with my team. I think we all worked really well.
It's okay. We've got more challenges ahead of us, so.
Today was a rough day just because I'm tired of losing. It's like they keep saying, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be alright, you gave it your all. It's not alright to lose.
So my heart really goes out to Timmy. He so desperately wants to win the quest, but it's not even for him. Every time he loses an event, he feels it so personally because he feels like he's failing these kids that he wants to reach in the inner city. I think the quest for Timmy is about getting whole and healed himself. And as he does that, he will go after his dream and be amazing.
I think I just need some time alone to walk and think and realize and remember where I came from and realize where I'm at and realize the progress that I've made and that I still have a long way to go.